Greetings, love beings, blessings, and the light and love of the prime creative force, source supreme, most high, Mama God, and her original wonder twin. Thank you, Mother, Father, God. I will continue with the Mayan calendar birthday book, as I was guided to do so the other night, by Mary Fran Koppa. She compiled this. And it's an easy reference handbook for finding and understanding your birthday and solar glyph and tone. Just like you have an astrological sign, you also have a Mayan glyph and solar glyph and tone. Now, for what it's worth, I'm going to read a couple pages out of this book. And then I will upload. And then I may or may not be back because we're going into the Easter baptism from the 16 to 17. Going from 16 to 17. Probably will be out of town the 15th to the 18th. Okay? So, and then we'll go over another, what would the word be? Another story. So let's feel into this one first, okay? And then it'll get you, at least in a different mind frame or heart frame, because nothing is as it seems. So here we go. Creation, frequency, and the symbols of the Mayan calendar. There is a connection between the human body's genetic coding and the larger frequencies portrayed by the 13 tones of the Mayan calendar. Our genetic coding is the connecting point in the human body that acts as a beacon and a transmitter of energy on the cosmic level. This is how we communicate with and are influenced by the creative energies. You might say that this is how God talks to us. We are connected through every cell in our body. What is this creative energy that is portrayed by the 13 tones on the Mayan calendar? Question. Visualize an enormous swirl of particles of energy. It casts a soft, shimmering glow as it moves. This energy pervades and engulfs our solar system, our planet, and our bodies. It is this electrical magnetic force that brought creation into being. It sustains the creation moment by moment. Exactly what is this creative energy and how does it affect our daily lives? This is a very good question. Excuse me. Pardoname. This is a very good question, and the answer can be given on many levels of understanding, understanding. This creative energy is composed of 12 tones or vibrations called streams of energy from God. Each stream has a different value or purpose. Their creative energy swirl, their purpose, there is a larger tone called tone 13, which is superimposed throughout the entire creative energy swirl, running along and within each of the 12 streams. It describes itself as the totality of the 12 tones. 13 is God's number. It is Father, Mother, God, present in all things. As tone 13 moves throughout the energy swirl, it gives and receives information. Information, as we know it, is a very simplified and primitive form of the information that moves throughout the larger creative energy. The creative information is understood without words. It is an elegant telepathy of consciousness that exists and evolves on a much higher frequency than is available on planet Earth. Each of the 12 streams of energy is actually a child of God, no more, no less important in God's eyes than we are, just different and much older. In the beginning, we can call it the beginning, but it was really just our beginning. Anyway, in the beginning, God had the idea to create a world. The world was to include land masses, water, atmosphere, light, and inhabitants. When this idea registered in the divine energy we call our Creator God, a shudder moved throughout the sparkling, supporting curve of life, from which all things originate. This shudder was a form of communication on an energy level. It triggered a response. The response was to call forth the energy required to create a world. One by one, the 12 tones of creation woke up and knew what was required. They had done this before. On the telepathic level, via an electrical chemical rush initiated by God, these 12 tones of creation were told what they should do to allow a new world into existence. Being children of God themselves and having a divine nature of loving, playing, and creating, they were willing to participate in this new idea. Each of the 12 tones imbued with the tone 13 moved out from the supporting curve of life energy and formed a great spiraling swirl. This swirl moved through the void, knowing exactly where it was going. As it moved, it took on a beautiful color of coral pink with large silver particles that moved and tumbled within the energy mass. It hummed the song of anticipation. When the site of our solar system was reached, the energy came to a gradual stop and began to change its configuration. The 13 tones of energy now hummed the song of creation, a deep, echoing tone, as they formed all that we know of as our world and universe. Each of the 13 tones had a specific contribution and was charged with the guardianship of a particular function of creation. After our world was set in place, the 13 great creative energies of Father, Mother, God, Mother, Father, God, returned to the supporting curve of life. Oh, there are curves. It's not just straight lines, folks. Leaving us with an energy link. Mother is the missing link. It provided for the flow of vital energy from the source to the creation. All 13 tones of creation energy could ride down this link. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Since the creation of our world, these energies have been busy creating other worlds that we can't even imagine. They have never forgotten about us because the energy link is always there, but at certain points in time, their attention was more focused on a new creation. It was during one of these lapses in full attention that Lucifer made his entry into our world and altered the original energy frequency in our atoms. Now, once again, I would like to share my experience in the Luciferian experiment. However, let's continue with what this person has written in this book, and it will open your hearts and minds and, to other things. And then when I return, we'll talk about other things, right? Pandora's box. Woo, woo. It was during one of these lapses in full attention that Lucifer made his entry into our world and altered the original energy frequency in our atoms. At that time, he was a powerful and beautiful being and a frequency master, meaning that he could manipulate reality on a grand scale. Being one of the firstborn of God, he was originally called an archangel. He was always allowed to try new things so that God could have the enjoyment of seeing things change in unexpected ways. Lucifer's idea was to experiment with us. He wanted to see what would happen in our world if he lowered our electrical frequency just to the point where we would forget that we were children of God and divine in nature. It's just that soul contract that we took on when we entered the earth plane that we willingly took on amnesia. That's a little, insight into what I will share about Luciferian experiment that I've experienced. And then he thought it would be interesting to watch us figure out how to survive if our full telepathic connection with the creative energies was reduced. His intent wasn't to hurt us. He was just playing a game. The creator is playing a game with his and herself. I feel it got a little out of hand. And now here we are. United we stand. This game started a long time ago. It was so long ago that none of us can remember it very clearly, even in our dreams. It happened during the time when the inhabitants on planet Earth were always happy. Since the first lowering of our frequencies and the great forgetting of our divine heritage, the quality of life on planet Earth has gotten worse and worse. In spite of technical marvels, the planet has been very heavy with problems. The troubled energy of these problems has made its way into the consciousness of every living thing on Earth. There has been a great sadness accumulating over the past several eons. You may be aware that Jesus came to assist the planet at a certain point in time. If it hadn't been for her coming, we wouldn't be here today. She succeeded in raising the planetary frequency for us. Again, let me reiterate. She succeeded in raising the planetary frequency for us. She gave us the example of a higher energy, a higher love. Bring me a higher love, whoa. A higher love. And she carried an amazing inner light called Christ energy. The energies. She channeled it through her own body. I open myself as a channel to whom this consciousness can come, can encompass, and can utilize in order to bring the consciousness of the Christ to the earth plane in whatever way possible, so be it, and it is so. Aha. Oh. She helped people re-heart that they are children of God, that they are greatly loved, and that they should be good to one another. Everybody get together, love one another right now, right now. When Jesus left, we were supposed to love ourselves and one another in order to recover our clear telepathic connection with the 13 energies of creation. Of course. Why, of course. Well, that proved to be impossible. Lucifer's game had spawned a powerful group of adversaries of the light, and they weren't willing to let go of us and go somewhere else. In spite of the fact that there have been many holy people on the planet since Jesus' time who rehearted our heritage and our birthright, and who held the high frequencies in their own bodies, the resistance to love and light was sometimes overwhelming. Many of the holy people were killed or despised by the ones that they were trying to help. Sound familiar? Like the swirling, whirling rainbow prophecy? The most hated beings on the planet. Well, disliked. I don't even care to utilize the word H-A-T-E. Yes, the warriors of the rainbow were the most disliked people on the planet because we were giving them whole truth, and whole truth can scare people. Now, what do they say? The truth will set you free. Well, I say the truth may piss you off first, and then it can set you free. In spite of the fact, well, we already read that. However, there was a promise. Oh, the rainbow? And there were cycles to be taken into consideration. When a creation is put into place, there is a certain latitude given so that it can evolve in its own unique way. In our case, the original lowering of the frequency by Lucifer and the great forgetting of who we were, or forgetting who we are, was allowed. But eventually, it was seen that this lowering of frequency was leading to the extinction of the planet. This is because the lower vibrations started feeding on themselves and becoming lower and lower. Every creation needs a minimum level of frequency or vibration in order to exist. Atoms must vibrate at a certain minimum rate in order to hold dense matter in form. The frequency on planet Earth was moving toward lowering itself out of existence. The great sadness that we all sometimes feel is our intuitive awareness of this cosmic predicament. If our planet goes, the solar system and worlds beyond worlds will go with it because we are all connected on an energy level as one creation. Everyone in this planet knows that our existence is threatened and feels a certain dread about the future. Unless if you're a starseed and you already know that the future is grand and glorious. All of your dreams of love are coming true. Love everywhere present. For all of you, if you choose love. Other worlds have lowered their frequencies out of existence. It has happened before, but it is not going to happen here. This planet is going to survive. The living library. Mother's heart chakra of this particular system. The great cycle of darkness and ignorance is coming to a close. A new cycle of peace and happiness is on the horizon. It is coming no matter what we think or do, because the energy that sustains darkness and ignorance is being gradually withdrawn. Lucifer has ended his game, and all he wishes is to give Mom her crown back. Ignoring love is a no bueno. And he knows it. Thank God, Mom. Now, the restoration of the higher frequency on this planet has to be done gradually. A drastic change in frequency would kill everybody. We are all enmeshed in the lower vibrations and have to move ourselves gently out of the many subtle traps of modern human existence and gradually into the higher frequency. It has already started to happen. You've all been bitten by the love bug. It's all over. It's too late. You've been bitten by the lady love bug. She will love you or bug you to love yourself and to heal until you do. So you might as well just surrender to love, because you've all been bitten by the love bug. Either evolve in love or be dissolved by love. The new information that is becoming available concerning the symbols of the Mayan calendar is being given to help us through this gradual raising of our planetary frequency. The Mayan calendar is a repository of frequency. It holds all the vibrations of the creative energies, in case if you didn't know. The 13 tones of the Mayan calendar represent the 13 streams of energy that issued forth from the supporting curve of life to create our world. The 20 solar glyphs are energy templates derived from the 13 tones. They are like energy formulas that deal with a specific area of wisdom that the soul needs to incorporate in order to raise the frequency in the body. The 13 tones and the 20 solar glyph symbols reheart and hold the frequency for us. We can tap into this frequency in order to raise our own vibrations. We can do this telepathically, and it is very easy. It just takes some quiet time and an intention to evolve. Meditating with the solar glyphs and tones can attune our bodies and spirits to the higher frequency that once governed our world. Once we learn these symbols and know how to hold the higher vibration in our bodies, we will begin to influence everything around us. The energy is available now to support and protect us, and more of us are able to hold the higher frequencies than ever before. We will be helping one another in helping the planet shift to the higher frequencies of the original creation, and then even higher. What that means to us on a practical level is that life is starting to be fun. We are learning that nothing bad can exist in our world when we own the higher frequencies. We can just look around us, decide what we would most like to do, and then do it for the sheer joy of life. Once we learn to utilize the creative energies in our daily lives, things go very smoothly. This is a state of being that most Earth people can hardly grasp. Being so conditioned and programmed and addicted to hardships and problems. Well, get over your it's too good to be true programming, because I'm here to tell you I love you. Well, the change is already underway, and each one of us has great reason for optimism and joy. Joy in ecstasy, joy in ecstasy, joy, 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 joy. Peace and aloha. Bye for now. Happy Easter.